Jabay. So it is that crimbo limbo time where between Christmas and New Year's, and I saw Creed, and it was amazing. Um, it's that's the movie that I'm going to talk about in this vid. These are my Creed thoughts. I did a video about the trailer a while back, and I was excited about that. This is I've seen Creed now, and holy shit, it's excuse the pun, it's a knockout. Okay, so basically, Michael B. Jordan plays the son, the illegitimate love child of Apollo Creed, the great Apollo Creed. We all know him, fucking living in America and shit. You know, we know that guy. Yeah, he's sort of he gets taken in by Widow Creed, raised as his son, but he doesn't go. He's kind of conflicted about his father. He doesn't want to, he goes by Donnie, and he takes his mother's name of Johnson. So, Adonis Creed is his birth name, but it's not what he's known as to the public. He's always been sort of fighting his adoptive mother. Doesn't want him to get in the ring after what happened to Apollo. She's like, people die in there. It's not, I don't want that for you. I want you to be better. But all he wants to do is fight. Like, there's a really sweet moment at the start where he sticks on like an old Apollo Creed fight from like Rocky 3 on YouTube, and he just starts shadow boxing with his dad. It's a really sweet moment. But so he has to fight. Nobody in LA will train him. They just don't. They don't like. They think he's untrained. They think he's a bit spoiled. They think he's a bit sort of, because he comes from money or whatever. They don't think it. They only train people like of grassroots. So he goes to Philadelphia, tracks down Rocky Balboa. And this is where the movie gets more interesting, because Sylvester Stallone's Rocky here is a Rocky we haven't seen before. It's still Rocky, not even in like Rocky Balboa. This is still Rocky, but he's more weather weary. It's not about him It's not about him as as somebody who's nearly in their 80s trying to fight. He has his own fight in this, and I won't say any more for spoilers, but this Rocky is more world weary. He's more grizzled. He's like, listen, everything that I've ever loved is left me. Paulie. There's a really sweet scene where he visits Paulie's grave and he visits Adrian's grave and he just sits there and reads the news. It's really, it's really nice. It's like he's still Rocky. He's got is this restaurant now, but he's still Rocky, and it's cool. And then there's lots of little cool little nods and references to Rocky. Okay, like whenever Adonis comes in the restaurant for the first time, he's like, I heard about this third fight between you and Apollo behind closed doors. He's like, how did you know about that? And they're talking about the one at the end of Rocky 3 where there's like that one, the freeze frame one. I'm like, I love that, and Rocky reluctantly agrees to train this kid. And so Rocky is Paulie in this. Rocky is Paulie / Mickey in this, and he's great. He started like there's a chicken chasing scene. He has to run after the chickens, and he's like, the chickens are getting slow. I'm like, just love it. It's not just fan service though. There's a great story. It's in the same way that Force Awakens is kind of the best remake to A New Hope that we never asked for. Creed is the best remake to Rocky that we never asked for, but it's still part of the Rocky saga, and it's great. It's definitely Rocky for a new generation, with Rocky being in it. It has that. It really helps that Michael B. Jordan gives it his fucking all in this. I mean, I don't want to hear anybody talk about him as the Human Torch or the Fantastic Four ever again. This is what I want him to be known for. This is what I want him to be famous for. He's amazing in this. He gives it his all. He gives everything in it. There are scenes towards the end where I'm just like, it's just like where he comes from, his daddy issues. He's got this girl he's trying to romance, and it's effectively Adrian again. Just like everybody brings it their all, and I hate saying that, but please, for the love of God, somebody give Stallone the Oscar for playing Rocky again, because who gets an Oscar for playing the same character twice? Nobody. This guy should, because this is the new Rocky, and it is a new Rocky. I want to go back to that again. he's playing a different Rocky from what we've seen, but it's still Rocky. And like, there's a lot of times where during the movie I'm like, oh, I wonder if we're gonna hear like gonna fly or whatever. And as the movie progresses, you're like, well, they probably aren't gonna do that. This trying to be its own thing. And I watched it with my girlfriend's brother, and he said like, yeah, in the original we had this classic gonna fly. Now we've got some new hip hop shit. And okay, the one for that moment. There's a great moment where Donnie's sort of jogging through the street, and all these guys on mopeds and quad bikes are like following him through. That's cool, but if they're using like some hip hop that I haven't heard before. There is a Nas track in there that I have heard before during a training montage, and that was pretty cool. But the Rocky theme tune does make an appearance. Gonna Fly Now does make an appearance. But you gotta wait for that shit. They know when they're gonna bust that out. And as soon as you hear it, you're just gonna cheer, okay? So it's all about this movie is about him proving himself to be a Creed, proving himself to himself. It's a really sweet movie. I can't go into too much because of spoilers, but it's Rocky 1 again, but with Apollo Creed's son. If that's something you want to see, go and see it. If you feel like you've seen this before, go and see it, because you haven't, okay? Just trust me on this. It could be a very simple, boring premise, if not for the fact that everybody acts the shit out of this. So those are my thoughts on Creed. If you like this vid, please click like, subscribe, view, share, and all the usual jazz. And hey, I'll see you soon, YouTube.